What's up, woke nation? We talk about how we're going to heal the world. What are some of the more practical things, some of the more grassroots things that we can do to heal and to uplift our communities? We have someone present who is going to talk to us about an online banking service that has been created for your money to match your values. Like, how woke is that? 10% of the money that they get goes to charity. You pay what you want to pay, and you know, we can go on and on forever because I've been researching them because they kick ass on Facebook and they made me leave Wells Fargo. So I want to talk to you. I want to ask you. I want to start with the question: why do you want to heal the world?
Because I think that's the responsibility of each of us, is to find ways in our own lives that we can make the world better. Whether it's by being a great parent, being a trusted friend, being a mentor, starting a business, running for office, or volunteering. Each of us, I think, in our own lives need to examine what contribution we can make to leave the world better. I think that's why we were created. That's why we're here, to make the world better.
So go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
I had 70 million questions about the whole banking aspect.
We don't have
of it,
that much time.
But I think that no, I know. But I think it's important for people to get the cliff notes because people are apprehensive about things that happen online.
Yeah.
Because so much bad stuff happens online.
Sure.
So if you could just give our viewers the cliff notes on what it entails, like how much does it cost to get a bank account, what are the penalties, what's the minimum balance, all of the things that they would want to know that they would consider when they were switching to another bank anyway.
Yeah. Well, here's the first thing to know. We cannot have a progressive future if we don't change the financial industry.
Yeah.
There's not an amount of progressive public policy that can offset a financial industry that fundamentally is restricting opportunity from almost everyone. And what's broken about the financial industry is not something that can be fixed with a cool new app or a better tech feature. Because what's broken about the financial industry is the relationship between companies and people, right? It's a relationship right now where the worse you do, the better Wells Fargo does, right? The more times you use your debit card outside their ATM network, the more fees you're charged. The lower your balance, the more fees you're charged. The more you overdraft, the more fees you're charged. The more anything you do, the more fees you're charged. Fees that aren't attached to any delivery of value to you, right? And so it creates a situation where you and Wells Fargo are on the opposite side of the table. And if we want to create a progressive financial industry, we have to fix that relationship and put people on the same side of the table. And the aspiration.com approach is twofold. First, we reach you at the center of your financial life, which is a banking account, and we deliver in a way that matches your values. Know that when your banking account is at Wells Fargo or a host of other big banks, you are funding Doppel, period. Because banks use your deposits to fund their loans, which means definitionally, if your banking account is at a bank that's funding Dakota or Keystone or any other bad project, or at a bank that's funding private prisons or gun companies, your money is funding that. And it shouldn't be that way. You should be able to have great financial services without violating your progressive values. And so your banking account at Aspiration is never used to fund fossil fuel or private prison companies or gun companies. And then second, the Aspiration business model, which is called Pay What's Fair, means that instead of like with Wells Fargo, you're on the opposite side of the table, we're on the same side of the table. The only fees that you're charged are the voluntary fees you choose to pay, which means our incentive at Aspiration is single. Make you so happy that you'll pay even though you don't have to. How do we do it? Well, in part by enabling you to match your money and your values. And also by giving you financial services that match the dignity you deserve as a human. So for example, you know, at most of the big banks, you earn 0 on your savings. We pay you 1%. At most banks, you're going to be charged ATM fees when you use your ATM card out of network. You never pay an ATM fee with Aspiration. There's no account fees except the voluntary fee you choose to pay. And that's, by the way, how it ought to be. It's your money. You're a human being. You shouldn't be treated like a mathematical variable. You should be treated with the dignity of a human being. And that's the essence of the Aspiration approach. So social conscience and a model that puts Aspiration and our customers on the same side of the table.
So speaking of social conscious, you mentioned that your money doesn't go towards guns or the Dakota Pipeline. What does it go to?
Yeah, a whole host of businesses and communities around the country that are engaged in the day-to-day work of employing people and making the economy go, but not engaged in the extractive industries that are doing so much harm in our communities. I think of the medical industry where there's a Hippocratic oath, right? First of all, you do no harm. We need a similar ethos in the financial industry. First of all, do no harm. And we accomplish that by saying that our customers' money and the investment services that we deliver for you aren't going to be involved in fossil fuel, in private prison companies, or in gun companies, because these are the three industries that are doing a whole heck of a lot of harm to our communities.
So you said that people don't have to pay a certain fee. Yeah. So what do you find that they pay when they don't have to?
Well, almost everyone voluntarily pays.
Nice.
Because we work really hard to make them satisfied. We don't disclose how much they pay, but they pay an amount that's fair. I'd add that even if you don't pay, you're served just the same. So there's no benefit in how you're treated to pay.
There's like no star in your account when you call in. It's like this. You get 1 star because this person hasn't paid anything. So
in fact,
we're gonna hang up a little earlier.
I'd almost surmise that we probably go out of our way extra for those who aren't paying to try and get them to pay.
So you can start off paying nothing, and then the option is always there to opt in.
That's right. Yeah.
And what's the minimum banking account balance?
$10.
$10.
Yeah, the minimum to open an aspiration account is $10.
Wow, and it's FDIC insured.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think that's one of the great opportunities we have to create a progressive financial industry, which is the FDIC insurance. What that means is that we can build new kinds of companies that are just as safe and sound for customers as the big incumbents. If you were to imagine among the most concerning reasons to leave a big bank, it would be the possibility that your money might not be as safe. But in point of fact, as long as your account is FDIC insured, the safety and soundness is identical to Bank of America.
Nice.
Or Wells Fargo.
So, if you want to find out more, go to aspiration.com. Those of you who want to know what the grassroots movements to make an impact and make a bigger change when you feel that the world is such a big place and you don't know how to change it, you do it with yourself. Take that money out of Dapple and go to Joe's and put your money over there and pay some fees. Don't be a douche.
I didn't say that.